Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Whew! It's already been a day. I went to the beach this morning, tried to go live, didn't really work out. So then I just went and had breakfast. And what is that? They are doing some type of construction outside. So if you guys hear any extra noises, I do apologize in advance. But they're doing something out there. Anyways, so welcome everyone. My name is Danae. I am a spiritual life coach. I am also an clairvoyant and an empath, and I'm also an end of life doula. And today is day 7 of total life transformation, and we are going to talk about or learn about the wheel of life. But before I even begin there, I want you guys to make sure that you have, that you've done my poll. So I have a poll. It should be somewhere up here, hopefully. I'm trying to get some feedback on some new names that I want to change my my whole branding to, where it is, the plan is to encompass all that I do in one space. And I would really love you all's help to pick that name for the new YouTube channel, the TikToks, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, like all of that. So please answer the questions on the poll. It's really one question where you're just picking the name, but nevertheless, your help will be appreciated. So I know yesterday we talked about the how to determine what you really want in your life. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I had just taken cold medicine, so I feel like I was a little loopy. Maybe I wasn't as focused, and I felt like I was really all over the place. So just to kind of go back and review what we talked about yesterday. So what I had said is, or what I was talking about rather, is how you can determine what you really want. And in doing so, excuse me, you need to remove the voices of your family members, your friends, people telling you how you should be living your life from your mind, right? And what you can do, a tool or activity that you can do to help you determine what you really want, if you're having any difficulties trying to figure it out, is to get a sheet of paper and make a list and put a line right down the middle. On one side of the paper, you will put the title of that section is Things I Do Not Want. On the other side, it'll say Things That I Want. So start with the list of all the things that you don't want. Okay? And then after you do that, on the second side, write the things that you do want. All right? And that is what we're going to focus on, are the things that you do want. So once you determine the things that you want in your life, house, car, career, family, all of that, then you are going to go a step further and be specific, right? So if I was going to be specific about what I want in regards to my housing, right? In the most ultimate world, I would want a 10-bedroom house with 10 full bathrooms, 3 guest baths, 2 kitchens, one main kitchen for like the whole family, and then a separate kitchen that faces east so that I can do my work. Okay. I would also want a large game room as well as an indoor theater. That would really just be the basics, maybe like a 6-car garage. All right. And then after that, after being specific on what you want, you would say why. Why do you want each specific item, right? So for me, having a large home would be helpful for when my family comes to visit so that they don't have to worry about having to get a hotel. They don't have to worry about having to always have to go to a restaurant to eat. They could just come to my house. We can have, our meals together if they so choose to. They wouldn't have to necessarily worry about renting a car because there'd be cars there for them. Or I could have like a big, like bus or van or something, right? Like I have really amazing and immaculate goals for my life. So I try to think of everything. Best case scenario, if I had the financial freedom to do anything and all that I want, this is what I would want. This is like the basic, right? So that is what you can do as well. So the point of digging deeper is to really learn what your dreams and your desires are that are from your heart space, that were created in your mind, not things that were placed there during your younger years or even your teenage years by your parents or teachers or friends, right? The goal is to really focus on what you want and why. All right. Now, the Wheel of Life. This is a very, very simple tool. And let me show you what it looks like. This is the Wheel of Life. I'm sure many of you have seen this before, where you're basically rating every aspect of your life. Now, the categories on this particular page, there's 8 categories, but you can determine which ones you want to work with, for anywhere from 6 life categories to 12 of the most important categories in your life or business in order to create the wheel. All right. Now, as you can see in the very center of this graph, we start with the number 1. And the 1 is like the lowest ranking. Let me see. Number 1 would be the lowest ranking of, sorry, y'all. The lowest ranking or lowest level of satisfaction within your life. And number 10 is the highest. Okay? So on this particular Wheel of Life, there's career, finance, personal growth, health, family and friends, romance, recreation, spirituality. I've also seen ones that have physical environment. I've seen education. I've seen mental health as well as health. So it really just depends on what categories are most important to you that would make you determine what to do, right? Or what to focus on in your life. You want to try to have yourself in a position where you're able to balance out all of these categories. Now, just because it's balanced doesn't necessarily mean that it's equal, but it does mean that you are giving or you're at your like most satisfactory for each level. All right. So if you were trying to talk about like your career or business, some things that you might want to think about are, is your business rewarding? Does it reflect your values? Okay. Do you feel balanced and in control? Happy with the time? responsibilities, etc. Okay? With money, do I earn enough money, right? Am I happy with how I spend it? Am I on a path to financial freedom? Your health, you may ask questions such as, am I generally fit and well? Do I eat healthy foods? Do I exercise regularly? Things like that. Okay? Now for like romance or like significant others, stuff like that, you might ask questions. Do I want a good relationship? Now, depending on how you answer all these questions will determine like where you feel you're at, right? So let's just say for health, I'll give you an example of me, right? Am I generally fit and well? Yeah, like in general, yes. Could I be more? Of course. But I think as far as my general fitness and exercise and all of the stuffs, all of the things, I'm like at a 4 or a 5. Could I stand to go to the gym, 3 times a week? Yes. Do I do that? No. Would I like to incorporate that? Yes. Will I? Who knows, right? Because then we'll learn later on that there could be other factors as to why certain categories are not balanced. Okay? Now let's talk about like with fun and recreation. Questions you can ask yourself. Do I have fun often? Do I know how to relax? Do I enjoy sports or have hobbies or take time to myself? Right? What are some of the things that you're doing to make sure that you're having a balanced life within all categories? Drink some water, excuse me. It's important to note that within these categories, if you have a particularly low score, you're going to want to make those things a priority in your life. Okay? However, we're also going to keep in mind that there could be other factors as to why other other categories may have a low ranking. Like, for instance, you might have a low ranking, let's just say in health, okay? Because there's a low ranking in your finance, right? Or even a low ranking in your recreation because you have a low ranking in your finance. So what does that mean? That basically just means that you may not have the money right now to be able to invest in certain recreations, certain events, right? Certain like healthy foods, right? So I've noticed, and you guys chime in if you want, but it's like in lower income areas, from my experience, it seems as though healthier foods are a lot more expensive. And if you do not have the money for those healthier foods, then you're going to have to pay. Then the food that you're going to have to get is going to be processed. It's going to be, not the fresh fruits and vegetables and all the things like that. And it just is, it's unfortunate, but it's how these systems were set up. Right? So if your health isn't as good, it could also be because you are on a set income. So you may not necessarily be able to go to the doctors every time that you're sick. You may not be able to afford the medications that you need. And again, it's all the system that has been created to keep people oppressed and to keep them really like in survival mode at all times, So just keep that in mind. Also, you might be working for a company that you don't really like. You're not getting paid that much. So you can't invest in, going, having fun activities like going to the Beyonce concert. I know that's really popular right now. You may not be able to invest in going on some major, vacation. You may not be able to invest in your education because you don't, not that you, it's not that you necessarily can't afford it, but maybe you just don't want to take out another student loan, right? And have to pay that back. There's so many, circumstances as to why these particular categories could rank low. But again, they all kind of work together. So once you can determine how they are interacting with each other, then you can figure out where you need to set your priorities, like where you need to focus your attention to improve and or balance out your life. Right now, let's say, and always look at things from a positive perspective, right? So you don't like your job, you're not making enough money, you feel like you need some type of training, some type of certification, or go back to school, get your degree in whatever. Start making a plan to do that. Go back to school, get the education, get a new career, or even if you don't want the new career or you don't want to go back to school, consider, starting your own business, becoming an entrepreneur. What are some of the things that you love doing that you would do regardless if you were getting paid or not, right? Focus on that. Focus on building your business. Get a mentor. There's so many options out there. Regardless of where you're at economically, if you have access to the internet and or YouTube, you can learn so much for free. You just have to take the initiative and you have to look the information up. And if you guys ever had any questions about where to find the resources, feel free to ask me while I'm on live. Send me a DM, send me a message, or a comment on my posts, my TikTok posts, and I would gladly help you search for those references or resources, excuse me. Moving forward. Now, the purpose is, the purpose for the Wheel of Life is really just to determine where you need to improve in any area of your life. It's really just for you. This information isn't necessarily for anyone else. It's just for you to determine what steps you need to take next. Let me move this thing. What steps do you need to take next to improve your life? To take it in the direction that you want to go, right? Because nobody knows what you want to do with your life. No one knows, what your goals and your desires are. All of this is up to you, right? Now, I'm going to ask you guys some questions, and this is going to determine how you can dig deeper and uncover your desired outcomes and what you can do to improve your the balance of the categories of your life, okay? And then if you guys don't have any questions, then I'm going to go ahead and close out for the day. And then just a reminder, if you could complete the poll in regards to my channel name change, that would be great. Also, if you're here, can you please give me some likes so that my algorithm so that I could be added to the algorithm and I can be shared with other people if you're enjoying this content and this information that I'm sharing with you today. and learning how to transform your total life. So let's dig a bit deeper into so that we can uncover your desired outcomes. All right. Now, again, I want you guys to look at this wheel of life just as a bit of a reflection, so you can reflect on it as I ask you these questions. All right. So have you ever been higher than the number you have recorded? Have you actually, what was actually happening when you were higher up the scale? Have you ever been lower than the number you have recorded? What did you do to move up the scale? What have you learned from previously being lower on the scale? What number on the scale do you want to be? What exactly do you want? What actions can take you to start moving up the scale? What will you be like when you have achieved this? There's a few more questions, y'all. These are important. Don't forget that if you did not catch this whole live, I will be posting the replay on my YouTube channel, Danae Dominic. Please remember to complete the poll. And if you could please give me some likes so that I can show up on this algorithm, that would be great. And please share and feel free to follow my page here on TikTok. All right, the next set of questions are: what will be the impact of achieving this in other areas of your life? How will achieving this affect others close to you? What will achieving this bring you that you want? What will achieving this bring you that you don't want? What skills do you already have that will assist you in achieving this? What skills do you want to gain that will assist you in achieving this? Where can you learn these skills? What other options do you have? What would need to happen for you to improve or to move up 1 point on the scale by this time next week? So you can use the answers to develop your action steps for this wheel of life. Okay? So now if y'all don't have any questions, again, just remember that just because the wheel is balanced, it doesn't mean that it's equal. It just means that you what do I want to say? It just means that there's other extenuating circumstances as to why you may be lower or higher in certain categories. And again, it could be based off of just your personal abilities. It could be your finances. It could be your education, any of that. All right? So you guys, I hope you have a great day. And of course, I love y'all. Please remember to like and share. Again, this will be replayed on my YouTube channel, Danae Dominic. And I hope you guys have a great day. Oh, and remember, I probably won't be on tomorrow. If I am, it will be later on in the afternoon. I have some appointments that I have to take care of. And yeah, that's it. All right, you guys, I love y'all and I hope you have a great day. Bye.